Man, just rep anything, man. Just say something, and then you good.
I'm 4K Trey.
Who? Rakai, what the man?
I ain't good for him, cuz. He ain't no shit.
Rakai, I'm finna call you right back.
You've been listening to when they're on the tablet, man.
Oh yeah, I've been heavy on this ESPG. You know what I'm saying? They need to put that Dirk on there, that new Almost Healed. I ain't even heard that whole yet.
They ain't put it on there?
What
Okay.
else? You know what I'm saying? Then that NBA YoungBoy, then I drop some on this motherfucker every day.
Damn, on the
That
tablet?
man, they drop an album every day on the tablet.
Whoa.
It's him right here. Ask y'all Jule about this. This the little.
Sometimes, the most dangerous moments in hip-hop don't start with a diss record. They start with a laugh, or a fake who. Because when someone pretends not to recognize your flag, your crew, or your name, that's not confusion. That's disrespect. And in this culture, disrespect lingers longer than words. What looked like a harmless live stream moment turned into something much bigger. A quiet signal that old wounds never healed. A reminder that loyalty in hip-hop doesn't expire just because time passed. And proof that some beefs don't die, they just wait. Because once money, fame, prison time, and real street ties collide, nobody walks away clean. And this situation, it's been building for years. When Pooh Shiesty came home, the energy was supposed to be positive. Fans were excited, supporters were ready, and the goal was simple: reconnect and move forward. He hopped on Bendidon's stream, smiling, relaxed, finally free again. No tension, no drama, just vibes. Until one call changed the tone. Rocky, known for openly supporting NBA YoungBoy, got on the phone. And instead of easing into conversation, he tested the waters. He casually claimed 4KT. Everybody watching knew exactly what that meant. That phrase isn't random, it isn't internet slang, it's a direct tie to NBA YoungBoy's camp. And Pooh Shiesty's response? Who? What's that? That moment wasn't confusion, it was calculated. Because pretending you don't know what 4KT means is louder than saying you hate it. It's saying the whole movement isn't worth acknowledgement, it's erasing someone in real time. And in street culture, ignoring someone's existence can be more disrespectful than calling their name. But that reaction didn't come out of nowhere. It came from years of tension that never settled. To understand why that who mattered so much, you have to rewind past Pooh Shiesty, all the way back to the line drawn between NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk. Those two were never just industry rivals. Their tension was personal, layered, and tied to people around them. Quando Rondo wasn't just another rapper, he was the first artist NBA YoungBoy signed to Never Broke Again. That wasn't business, that was family. So when Quando got involved in something tragic, YoungBoy didn't have the option to stay neutral. The streets don't allow that, even if you weren't there, even if you didn't pull anything, even if you didn't speak. Guilt by association still counts. And that's when sides got locked in. But everything truly exploded after one night in Atlanta, a night that reshaped modern hip-hop. November 6th, 2020, King Von was outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta when he crossed paths with Quando Rondo and his crew. Tension had been building online, but nobody expected what happened next. According to Quando himself, he didn't even realize it was Von at first. He said he was ready to let things slide, then someone swung. What started as fists spiraled fast. Chaos broke out, and within moments, shots rang out. King Von didn't make it home that night. The entire culture felt it. Fans, artists, and streets alike knew nothing would be the same after that. And even though NBA YoungBoy wasn't there, even though he had nothing to do with the moment itself, the connection was enough. Because Quando Rondo was his artist, and loyalty doesn't disappear when tragedy strikes. From that point on, neutrality stopped existing, and the music reflected it. After Von's passing, tension didn't cool off. It hardened. NBA YoungBoy dropped tracks that felt less like songs and more like statements. Certain lines hit harder than expected. Certain names carried weight they couldn't take back. When lyrics start sounding like warnings instead of bars, people listen differently. Lil Durk heard it. The streets heard it. And everyone knew this wasn't just rap anymore. Durk didn't rush to respond at first, but silence doesn't mean acceptance. Sometimes it means something's brewing. And while the internet focused on music, something else was happening behind the scenes. Loyalty was being tested in real time, because one person never forgot who stood by him when it mattered most. Back in Blood didn't just chart, it changed Pooh Shiesty's life. Before that record, he was buzzing. After it, he was undeniable. Lil Durk didn't just hop on the track, he co-signed him to the world, but real loyalty showed up later. When Pooh Shiesty caught federal charges in 2021, the industry did what it always does. It backed away. No features, no public support, no names mentioned. That's how it goes when the spotlight turns risky. Except Durk didn't disappear. Every show, every interview, every stage, he kept Pooh Shiesty's name alive. Free Pooh Shiesty echoed while everyone else went quiet. Money on his books, support behind the scenes, no hesitation. That kind of loyalty doesn't come with expiration dates. So when Pooh Shiesty came home, he already knew where he stood. And more importantly, who he stood with. Which made what happened next unavoidable. After Pooh Shiesty dropped his first day out record, fans waited to see how NBA YoungBoy would respond. And when the question came up on Instagram Live, YoungBoy didn't raise his voice. He didn't diss, he laughed. Is that what y'all been waiting on? That laugh hit harder than a bar ever could. Because laughter means dismissal. It means you're not a threat, not competition, not worth serious attention. In hip-hop, being laughed at can be worse than being challenged. YoungBoy's reaction sent a clear message. Time locked up doesn't freeze the game, and coming home doesn't guarantee relevance. But Pooh Shiesty wasn't about to let that moment slide, because now this wasn't just about Durk anymore. It was personal. Not long after, Pooh Shiesty fired back on Instagram. No names, no direct callouts. But the message was clear. He spoke on rappers capping, questioned authenticity, and made it known that not everyone lives what they rap. In hip-hop, questioning someone's realness is crossing a serious line, especially when it's aimed at someone known for their street credibility. That's when the tone shifted. This wasn't inherited beef anymore. This was head-to-head energy. And in today's era, beef doesn't stay in music. It lives on timelines, stories, comments, and reposts. Every move becomes fuel. But the real danger wasn't online, it was offline. NBA YoungBoy isn't just an artist, he's a symbol of influence, backed by a network that existed long before his fame ever skyrocketed. 4KT isn't some catchy phrase thrown around for clout. It's a movement, a real network of people who've been loyal through years of struggle, street politics, and real danger. These aren't casual fans or studio acquaintances. These are individuals who ride for him, who've been with him before the cameras, before the contracts, before the charts. Their loyalty runs deep, and it shapes the way every situation unfolds. Disrespecting YoungBoy isn't just an insult to him. It's a challenge to everyone who's ever stood by him, quietly or publicly, through thick and thin. On the flip side, you've got Pooh Shiesty, who represents more than just Memphis rap. He carries the weight of the city's street credibility, amplified through his deep connections to Chicago via Lil Durk. That partnership is significant. It's not just about music collaborations. It's about shared respect, mutual protection, and alliances built over time. When you combine Memphis street culture with Chicago drill influence, you're creating a force that has both reach and depth. It's a combination that outsiders don't fully understand. One where honor, loyalty, and reputation matter as much as any record sold. Different cities, different codes, same respect rules. Across the country, the unspoken laws remain. Disrespect cannot go unanswered. And when you're dealing with people who've already experienced real loss, emotions don't just simmer, they boil over. Lil Durk lost someone close to him, someone whose absence left a mark that will never fade. Pain like that doesn't just linger, it transforms into a protective instinct, a drive to enforce loyalty, and a refusal to allow history to repeat itself without consequences. When old wounds are poked, logic doesn't always apply. Decisions are fueled by emotion, and the stakes are life-altering. Add to that the fans, young, impressionable supporters who idolize these artists and want to prove their loyalty at every turn. They watch, they listen, and they act, often without understanding the full consequences. Social media amplifies every action, every post, every lyric. A simple gesture or comment can ignite a reaction that spirals far beyond what anyone intended. This is how situations escalate. Not because the artist planned it, but because influence is powerful, and once a message is sent, you can't control how it's received. One small spark can ignite a fire that burns unpredictably. At its core, this situation isn't just about Pooh Shiesty and NBA YoungBoy. It's about loyalty, inherited obligations, friendships forged under pressure, and alliances that demand action even when the cost is high. Pooh Shiesty didn't start this war, he didn't choose to inherit these conflicts, but by standing with Lil Durk, he accepted the weight of that history, and with it, the enemies that come attached. NBA YoungBoy didn't ask for these adversaries either, but his loyalty to his own camp leaves no room for neutrality. Hip-hop as a culture repeats this cycle endlessly. Respect, retaliation, loss, regret. Every generation sees it replayed, yet the lessons are often ignored until it's too late. And in the middle of it all, the real question isn't who's right or wrong. It's whether loyalty is worth the price it demands. Because sometimes standing on principle, standing 10 toes down, can cost more than anyone is ready to pay. It can cost relationships, careers, and in the worst cases, lives. That's the weight of loyalty in the streets, in hip-hop, and in a world where every action has far-reaching consequences. And this story? It's far from over.